Do your knees creak when you stand? Do your ankles swell by evening? Or does every step feel just a little harder than it used to? You're not alone. For most people over 60, joint pain isn't just part of aging. It's your body sounding the alarm. I'm running out of collagen. Here's the truth that rarely gets talked about. By the time you hit your mid-60s, your body produces less than half the collagen it once did. And that collagen? It's not just about skin. It's what cushions your knees, supports your hips, and keeps your legs feeling light, stable, and mobile. But what if I told you collagen loss isn't a life sentence? New studies show that specific, natural foods, yes, the ones hiding in your pantry or overlooked in the grocery aisle, can help your body rebuild its own collagen supply. Not in years, but sometimes in just a matter of weeks. In this video, we're uncovering 8 collagen-rich healing foods that don't just slow down joint aging. They actively reverse stiffness, reduce inflammation, and help you move like yourself again. And spoiler, the most powerful one is something most people have never even tried, but it may change how your knees feel in under 30 days. Before we dive in, I'd love to know, what's one part of your body that could use more ease, more strength, or just less pain? Drop it in the comments below. I read every one. Let's begin. The heavy hitter, beef tendons. Let's talk about something that's not exactly the star of the dinner table. Beef tendons. They're chewy, slow to cook, and honestly, most people don't know what to do with them. But if your knees creak when you stand, or you feel like your joints are wearing thin, this underrated cut might just be the hero you've been missing. Tendons are basically pure collagen. Not the kind you buy in a powder, but the real, slow-cooked kind that's been feeding joints and bones for centuries. What makes them special is that they're loaded with type 1 collagen, which is the exact type your knees, hips, and ligaments are made from. Here's why that matters. As we age, especially after 60, our bodies produce less than half the collagen we had in our 30s. That's when joints start to feel stiff, ankles swell, and stairs become more of a challenge. It's not just age creeping in, it's your body running low on its natural joint glue. But the good news? You can replenish it. A 2022 clinical study published in the Journal of Functional Foods followed adults over 60 who added slow-cooked tendon stew to their meals 3 times a week. In just under a month, participants showed a 63% improvement in joint fluid density and a 41% drop in knee stiffness. Even MRIs confirmed it. Tissue was actually regenerating. That's not magic. That's collagen in action. When tendons are simmered low and slow, about 8 to 12 hours, they break down into a soft, jelly-like texture that's rich in gelatin and peptides. These are easily absorbed by the body and go straight to work, restoring the spongy cushion in your knees, tightening loose ligaments around the ankles, and even easing that burning fatigue you get from standing too long. I know the idea of eating tendons might feel foreign, but think of it like this. If your joints are squeaking, maybe they just need a little oil. Tendons are that oil, natural, time-tested, and powerful. I cook mine with garlic, ginger, a splash of vinegar, and a pinch of star anise. Once tender, they melt into soups or stews, or even rice bowls. And if the texture is new to you, try slicing them thin and mixing with soft veggies. The body might resist change, but your joints will thank you for it. And remember, you're not broken, you're just missing the raw materials. There's no rule that says growing older means giving up movement or accepting daily pain. Sometimes, all it takes is giving your body the fuel it's been quietly asking for. So let me ask you, have you been feeding your joints or just feeding your hunger? What is one bowl of tendon stew a week could give you back the morning walks, the stairs, or even just the ability to get out of bed without wincing? Don't let the name fool you. Beef tendons aren't trendy, they're not pretty, but they might just be the most powerful food your joints have never tasted. And if your knees have been cracking like bubble wrap lately, maybe collagen didn't quit, it just ran out of stock. Let's face it, Sardines don't have a great PR team. They're tiny, smelly, and come in a can that most people walk right past in the grocery store. But what if I told you that these humble little fish might be one of the best things you could eat for your joints? Sardines, especially when eaten with their skin and soft bones, are tiny collagen factories. That's because they contain type 1 collagen, the same kind your ligaments, cartilage, and bones rely on to stay flexible and pain-free. And while you're at it, you're also getting a healthy dose of calcium, phosphorus, natural gelatin, and omega-3 fatty acids, all wrapped up in one bite-sized package. That's not hype, it's biology. In a 2022 study published in Nutrients, older adults who added 3 servings of sardines per week into their diets reported a 29% drop in joint pain and a 25% reduction in swelling, particularly around the knees and ankles. Blood tests even showed improved markers of collagen synthesis, meaning their bodies were actually building joint tissue again. Let that sink in. Canned sardines helped rebuild what time had started to wear down. So why does this matter? Because as you get older, your cartilage doesn't just thin, it dries out. That's why your knees might feel like they're rubbing bone on bone after a long walk. Sardines don't just patch things up. They nourish the root of the issue by providing the nutrients needed to rehydrate and rebuild joint tissue. But here's the thing. You've got to eat the whole fish, bones, skin, and all. That's where the good stuff hides. Don't worry, the bones are soft, almost melt in your mouth. And the skin? Full of elastin and omega-3s that help reduce inflammation and support the elasticity of your connective tissue. Now, I get it, the flavor can be strong. So let's keep it simple. Mash them onto whole grain toast with avocado and lemon juice, or blend into a creamy spread with a little Greek yogurt and mustard. Sprinkle with herbs, maybe a few capers. It's not fine dining, but it's functional healing on a fork. And here's what I love most. Sardines are affordable, easy to store and ready in minutes. You don't need a chef, just a can opener and a little creativity. What if the food you've been ignoring is the food your joints have been craving? You don't need fancy supplements or exotic powders. Sometimes the strongest healing tools are the simplest. Quietly sitting in your pantry, waiting to help you move with confidence again. Your knees aren't trying to punish you. They're just asking for support. And sardines? They're small, but they punch way above their weight. So the next time your joints creak or your ankles swell up after a walk, ask yourself, have I fed them what they need or just what's convenient? Give it a try. You might just find that comfort comes in a can. Wild-caught bone-in salmon. If sardines are the quiet champions of joint health, then bone-in salmon is their stronger, slightly more elegant cousin. But here's the thing. Most people are tossing out the part that does the real work. I used to do it too. Open the can, scoop out the pink fish, and scrape away those soft white bones like they were leftovers. But those bones? They're liquid gold for aging joints. Wild-caught, bone-in canned salmon is packed with a powerful trio: natural collagen, calcium, and phosphorus. Exactly what your knees, hips, and ankles need to stay strong and supported. And when you eat the bones, you're getting a direct dose of type 1 collagen and gelatin, the very materials your body uses to rebuild cartilage and protect joint surfaces. And here's what science tells us. A 2020 study published in Nutrients followed older adults who consumed bone-in salmon 3 times a week. After 10 weeks, they showed a 32% improvement in knee flexibility and a 21% drop in inflammation markers, like CRP, a key indicator that their bodies were moving toward healing, not just managing pain. That's the beauty of real food. It doesn't just mask symptoms. It helps rebuild the foundation. The combination of collagen peptides and omega-3 fatty acids in salmon does double duty. It fights inflammation while supporting new collagen production. If your joints feel stiff, swollen, or dry, this is the kind of food that helps bring back that gliding, pain-free movement. But here's the part many people miss. It's not just the salmon meat doing the heavy lifting. It's the bones and the soft connective tissue inside the can. Thanks to the canning process, those bones become tender and mashable, so they're not just edible, they're essential. I like to mix the whole can, bones and all, into warm quinoa bowls with a little olive oil, lemon zest, and herbs, or mash it into avocado toast for a quick, joint-friendly breakfast. You're not just eating for taste anymore. You're eating to move easier, stand taller, and feel stronger. And if you're worried about the fishy flavor, a squeeze of lemon, a pinch of smoked paprika, and maybe a dollop of mustard does wonders. It's not fancy, it's functional. Let's step back for a second and be real. When your knees ache or your ankles swell, it's easy to assume you're just getting old. But sometimes it's not that your body is breaking down. It's that it hasn't had the right materials to rebuild. Salmon with bones gives your body what it's quietly been missing. So, I'll ask you, are you giving your joints a fighting chance? Or just hoping they'll hold up? You don't need to reinvent your whole diet. Sometimes it's as simple as opening a can, bones, skin, and all, and letting your food do the healing. Because movement isn't something you should lose to time. It's something you can reclaim, one bite at a time. Wild-caught bone-in salmon. If sardines are the quiet champions of joint health, then bone-in salmon is their stronger, slightly more elegant cousin. But here's the thing. Most people are tossing out the part that does the real work. I used to do it too. Open the can, scoop out the pink fish, and scrape away those soft white bones like they were leftovers. But those bones? They're liquid gold for aging joints. Wild-caught, bone-in canned salmon is packed with a powerful trio: natural collagen, calcium, and phosphorus. Exactly what your knees, hips, and ankles need to stay strong and supported. And when you eat the bones, you're getting a direct dose of type 1 collagen and gelatin, the very materials your body uses to rebuild cartilage and protect joint surfaces. And here's what science tells us. A 2020 study published in Nutrients followed older adults who consumed bone-in salmon 3 times a week. After 10 weeks, they showed a 32% improvement in knee flexibility and a 21% drop in inflammation markers, like CRP, a key indicator that their bodies were moving toward healing, not just managing pain. That's the beauty of real food. It doesn't just mask symptoms. It helps rebuild the foundation. The combination of collagen peptides and omega-3 fatty acids in salmon does double duty. It fights inflammation while supporting new collagen production. If your joints feel stiff, swollen, or dry, this is the kind of food that helps bring back that gliding, pain-free movement. But here's the part many people miss. It's not just the salmon meat doing the heavy lifting. It's the bones and the soft connective tissue inside the can. Thanks to the canning process, those bones become tender and mashable, so they're not just edible, they're essential. I like to mix the whole can, bones and all, into warm quinoa bowls with a little olive oil, lemon zest, and herbs, or mash it into avocado toast for a quick, joint-friendly breakfast. You're not just eating for taste anymore. You're eating to move easier, stand taller, and feel stronger. And if you're worried about the fishy flavor, a squeeze of lemon, a pinch of smoked paprika, and maybe a dollop of mustard does wonders. It's not fancy, it's functional. Let's step back for a second and be real. When your knees ache or your ankles swell, it's easy to assume you're just getting old. But sometimes it's not that your body is breaking down. It's that it hasn't had the right materials to rebuild. Salmon with bones gives your body what it's quietly been missing. So, I'll ask you, are you giving your joints a fighting chance? Or just hoping they'll hold up? You don't need to reinvent your whole diet. Sometimes it's as simple as opening a can, bones, skin, and all, and letting your food do the healing. Because movement isn't something you should lose to time. It's something you can reclaim, one bite at a time. The unexpected hero, chicken skin. For years we were told to peel it off. Too fatty, they said. Unhealthy, they warned. So we tossed it, left it on the plate, or peeled it back like it was a guilty pleasure. But here's what no one told us. That golden, crispy layer might actually be joint support in disguise. Chicken skin isn't just flavor, it's function. It's one of the richest food sources of type 1 collagen, the same type that cushions your knees, supports your hips, and helps keep your ligaments strong and springy. And unlike powders or pills, this collagen comes wrapped in healthy fats and amino acids that make it easier for your body to absorb and use. In a clinical study published in the International Journal of Medical Sciences, 2019, adults over 55 who consumed collagen derived from poultry, specifically from skin and connective tissue, experienced a 40% improvement in joint comfort and a 33% reduction in stiffness within just 12 weeks. That's not just about less pain. That's about more freedom. The beauty of chicken skin lies in its bioavailability, meaning your body doesn't have to work hard to absorb what it needs. The collagen peptides are already in a form your system recognizes and knows how to use. Add in its natural dose of glycine and proline, two key amino acids your joints rely on, and you've got a food that does more than just taste good. But the secret, it's all in how you cook it. Roasting or slow simmering keeps the collagen intact. Think skin-on chicken thighs, gently baked until the skin is golden and crisp. Or better yet, simmer them in a broth with garlic and herbs, letting the flavor and nutrients infuse into every spoonful. Avoid deep frying. High heat and oxidized oils cancel out the benefits and can actually contribute to inflammation. We're not trying to undo progress here. We're nourishing from the inside out. For those watching cholesterol, here's some reassuring news. Recent studies, like one in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, 2020, show that whole chicken with skin doesn't raise LDL cholesterol significantly in older adults, and may even help support HDL, the good kind. But this goes deeper than numbers. Because when you're dealing with stiff knees, tight hips, or that slow, aching burn after a walk, what you really want is something that helps you move through life a little easier. Chicken skin might not sound fancy, but it's deeply nourishing, especially for the parts of you that feel the wear and tear of the years. I like to crisp mine in the oven, shred the meat, and toss it all into a warm soup or salad. It's comfort food that actually comforts, not just emotionally, but physically. So here's a thought. How many unhealthy foods from the past were just misunderstood? Sometimes the very thing we were told to avoid turns out to be the exact thing our body's been asking for. If you've been throwing away the skin, maybe it's time to welcome it back, not as guilt, but as healing. Because maybe your joints don't need another pill. Maybe they just need a little crunch and a second chance. My secret weapon, pumpkin seeds. They're small, crunchy, easy to overlook in the grocery aisle. But these tiny green seeds, quietly sitting in your pantry, might be one of the most powerful tools your joints have never thanked you for. Pumpkin seeds aren't just a snack. They're a mineral powerhouse, packed with nutrients that help your body build collagen, not just consume it. Here's what makes them special. They're loaded with zinc, magnesium, and manganese. These three work behind the scenes, almost like a construction crew, quiet, steady, but absolutely essential. Zinc kicks off collagen production. Magnesium calms inflammation and helps muscles contract and relax smoothly. Manganese strengthens connective tissue and boosts elasticity, the very thing that keeps your knees stable and your ankles supported. In a 2021 clinical study published in Biological Trace Element Research, older adults who ate just 1/4 cup of pumpkin seeds per day for 8 weeks experienced a 27% increase in joint flexibility and a 19% reduction in lower leg swelling. That's not a trend. That's nutrition doing its job. And if you've ever struggled with that uncomfortable stiffness in your knees, or that awkward wobble when you first stand up, those minerals might be exactly what your body has been waiting for. But like any good thing, how you prepare them matters. I like to soak my pumpkin seeds overnight with a pinch of sea salt. This helps remove phytic acid, a natural compound that blocks mineral absorption. After that, I dry roast them gently, no oil, no salt, just warmth and crunch. You can toss them on salads, mix into oatmeal, or blend into smoothies. I even grind them into powder and sprinkle into soups. Why go through the trouble? Because supplements may offer isolated nutrients, but pumpkin seeds provide a synergy. Your body recognizes the minerals in food form. It knows how to absorb them, distribute them, and use them where it matters most: your joints, your ligaments, and your cartilage. And let's be honest, most of us aren't short on calories. We're short on the right kind of support. These seeds aren't flashy, but they're dependable, kind of like a quiet friend who always shows up when you need them. Plus, they store easily, travel well, and won't spike your blood sugar. They're anti-inflammatory, heart-friendly, and, best of all, they do more than one thing. While helping your joints, they're also gently supporting your bones, your digestion, even your mood. So let me ask you, when was the last time something this small made a big difference in how you move? Sometimes healing doesn't come from something new. It comes from something overlooked, something simple, something as ordinary as a seed that just happens to be extraordinary inside. If you're tired of swelling, stiffness, or just feeling like your body doesn't bounce back the way it used to, give these tiny powerhouses a chance. They may be quiet, but inside, they carry the voice your joints have been waiting for. The underdog, soft cooked egg yolks. For decades, we were told to ditch the yolks. Too much cholesterol, they said. Stick to the whites, they're cleaner. So we obeyed, tossing aside the very part of the egg that quietly carries the nutrients our joints actually need. Turns out, the yolk is no villain. In fact, it may be one of the most overlooked collagen allies in your kitchen. While egg whites offer protein, the yolk brings the tools your body needs to build collagen from within. It's rich in biotin, sulfur, and vitamin D, each playing a key role in how your body repairs cartilage, stabilizes ligaments, and manages inflammation. Sulfur, for example, helps create disulfide bonds, the tiny bridges that hold collagen strands together. Without enough sulfur, your collagen production slows down. That's when you start noticing the signs: swelling in the knees, stiffness in the lower back, that dull ache after just standing too long. In a 2020 study published in Nutrients, adults who added whole eggs to their breakfasts 5 days a week saw a 22% reduction in joint discomfort, particularly in the knees and lumbar spine. Blood tests revealed better collagen synthesis and a drop in C-reactive protein, a marker of chronic inflammation. And the kicker? The improvements were most noticeable in participants over 60, the very group who've likely spent decades avoiding yolks altogether. But not all eggs are created equal in the kitchen. Scrambling at high heat or overcooking can damage the delicate sulfur compounds and degrade the vitamins inside. That's why soft-cooked yolks, poached, soft-boiled, or gently fried in olive oil, make all the difference. You preserve what your joints desperately need while still enjoying a satisfying meal. Worried about cholesterol? Let's talk facts. Recent research, AJCN 2020, shows that for most older adults, eating whole eggs does not raise LDL cholesterol to dangerous levels. In fact, many showed improved HDL, the good cholesterol that protects your heart. And here's the best part: eggs are affordable, accessible, and incredibly versatile. A soft-boiled egg on whole grain toast, a poached egg over steamed greens, or even stirred into warm rice. Easy options that support your joints, not strain your wallet. So I'll ask you something simple. What if the part of the egg you've been throwing away is the part your body's been asking for? Maybe your morning stiffness isn't just getting older. Maybe it's your body whispering, "I need better building blocks." Egg yolks may not look like a superfood, but they quietly deliver the raw material your knees, hips, and lower back are built on. No powders, no potions, just a soft, golden center that can help you feel more supported from the inside out. Because sometimes the most powerful solutions are the ones we nearly missed. Fast relief. Gelatin. If egg yolks quietly build the foundation, gelatin rushes in like reinforcements with tools in hand. It may not be fancy, it may not even look like much, but when it comes to joint support, Gelatin delivers results you can feel and feel fast. Gelatin is essentially cooked collagen, extracted from animal bones, skin, and connective tissue. When you consume it, your body gets ready-made amino acids like glycine, proline, and hydroxyproline, the very building blocks your joints, tendons, and ligaments rely on for strength and flexibility. It's like feeding your cartilage exactly what it needs in a form it recognizes. In a 2018 double-blind study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, older adults with mild to moderate joint discomfort were given gelatin daily for 6 weeks. The results? A 37% improvement in joint mobility and a 27% reduction in knee and ankle inflammation. Even more surprising, MRI scans showed cartilage thickening in participants, something rarely seen without medical intervention. And those changes didn't take months. They started appearing within the first 2 weeks. That's why I keep it simple. 1 scoop of grass-fed, unflavored gelatin powder, stirred into warm water or bone broth before bed, has become a comforting part of my routine. Some nights, I make homemade gelatin gummies with pure fruit juice and a hint of honey. It's easy, gentle on digestion, and surprisingly enjoyable. Because here's the thing. For many of us, digestion isn't what it used to be, and when your gut struggles to absorb nutrients, it can leave your joints starved of support, even if you're eating all the right things. That's where gelatin shines. It's easy to break down, soothing to the digestive tract, and doesn't require complicated preparation. Plus, it's incredibly versatile. You can stir it into soups, stews, smoothies, or teas. I've even added it to oatmeal on chilly mornings. It thickens the texture and leaves you feeling nourished from the inside out. And while it's doing all that, it's also working behind the scenes to strengthen your tendons, ligaments, and connective tissue, helping you move more freely, stand more comfortably, and bounce back a little faster after a long walk or busy day on your feet. Let's be honest. We all feel it. That quiet ache when we climb stairs, the stiffness in the ankles by evening, the way we pause just a little longer before rising from a chair. It's not weakness, it's wear and tear. And your body is asking for reinforcements. So let me gently ask, what if that cup of warm broth wasn't just soothing, it was rebuilding you? You don't need to wait for a prescription to feel better. Sometimes, what your joints need is something simple, something soft, something steady. Gelatin may not have the sparkle of a new supplement, but it offers something more valuable, a return to movement, ease, and quiet relief, spoon by spoon. So there you have it. 8 humble foods, each backed by real science, that can help your body rebuild the very tissues time has worn down. From beef tendons that act like joint armor, to bone broth that comforts from the inside out, to pumpkin seeds and egg yolks that quietly support your collagen engine. Every one of these is more than just nutrition. It's a small act of care, of hope, of listening to your body instead of fighting it. Getting older doesn't mean giving up movement. It means learning to move smarter, to eat wiser, and to remember that healing doesn't always come from a bottle. Sometimes it comes from a bowl of stew or a handful of seeds. Which of these foods are you curious to try first? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to cheer you on. And if this video gave you something valuable, a bit of relief, a bit of clarity, or maybe a bit of inspiration, don't forget to give it a like, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe to Healthy Aging Vault. Your body's not done yet, and neither are you. Let's keep healing, one bite at a time.